Katerina Ribbick, who's the assistant professor in the Department of Biological Engineering in Massachusetts Institute of Technology, when she addressed the American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology at an annual meeting in Chicago. This is how big bogies are right now. Her work claims that mucus has a raft of health benefits, which could be an advantage to growing children in particular. Along with skin and tears, it makes up our first line of defence against disease, forms a physical barrier against invading germs. Crucial proteins in mucus called salivary mucins protect our teeth from a type of bacteria that's responsible for causing cavities, being seen by some as an alternative to antibiotics. There's also some evidence that mucus in snot could defend against respiratory infection, stomach ulcers and HIV. That's why we're talking about it today. There's your science. So what's your problem?
I don't care. It's disgusting. There's always going to be some survey, whether it's this week or next week, to say that something is good for us, and my bottom line is, let's just have some manners and decorum. I don't care. It's not going to solve cancer. Whatever the reason is not going to be good enough to warrant children sitting there, picking their nose and eating it.
OK, well, Anthony, you say that this is actually the most natural thing in the world, and actually to not pick your nose is to intervene with evolution.
Well, in a sense, but I'd like to say, to begin with, we all find it disgusting. No one enjoys watching someone else pick their nose. But what I'm interested in is the roots of that disgust, because clearly all the science shows that there's no medical reason not to pick your nose out and eat it. So it's some other kind of weird social injunction that's come into play.
You're eating something that's come out of you, which is gross.
Well, but then, in terms of what you put in your mouth, you know, we've all had our mouths in much more disgusting places than people's noses. You know, if you don't give me that. Like, when did you last kiss somebody? Right. Well, the mouth is a pit of foul corruption and germs. So your mouth has got far more germs than your nose, and yet we're all happy to kiss. And yet there's some sort of weird taboo about snot. So yes, we feel that revulsion. But why?
This is just a cultural thing. Our revulsion is cultural.
Absolutely, and different cultures have different taboos around mucus. I was on a train the other day, and there was a very elegant Japanese couple sitting opposite me. I get terrible hay fever, and I had a sneezing fit. And now, for most of us, you'd kind of view it as mildly amusing, and I was sneezing into my handkerchief. We would say Gesundheit or bless you. And this Japanese couple, I could sense them getting a bit odd. And then the lady kind of reached into her bag. I thought she was going to get me a tissue. But in fact, she pulled on one of those anti-pollution masks.
Oh, right.
So, and then I was kind of reading up, and apparently in Japan, just sneezing into a handkerchief is repulsive. So, and yet we have different kind of weird taboos around it.
But what about, I mean, you say about germs and kissing and this, that and the other, but if you're putting a dirty finger up your nose and then putting that in your mouth, under your fingernails, biting off what's in there, I mean, you're taking all the germs from under your nails also, along with the goodness that's in the snot.
Deliciousness. Well, but there's, I mean, there's lots of research...
That can't be good for you, is what I'm saying.
But if it wasn't good for us, then evolution would have stamped it out. I mean, every single child picks their nose and eats it. I'm sure that... I know you're going to maybe... recoil from that idea now, but you do it when you were 5-year-old.
Because we're repulsed by it. Yeah, it's natural to be repulsed.
So what about if you find out that it's good for your children, and they're saying that all of these beneficial properties of mucus, they're actually talking about artificially trying to recreate them and put them in chewing gum and toothpaste. So would you... Obviously, maybe not in the street. That would be an inelegant thing to encourage your children to do. But what about in private? Think, well, actually, she's picking her nose over there. I'll quietly let her do it because it could be good for her.
I really don't care. It's just disgusting. I just can't understand that this is OK under any circumstances. Yes, we are repulsed by it because that is our natural reaction. You're never going to change it with a survey.
Our natural reaction is what children do. Children aren't repulsed by it. So it's an artificial reaction.
My 4-year-old sees somebody picking her nose and she goes, ew.
Well, I wonder where she got that from. Perhaps.
Because it's normal to do that.
But I visit schools all the time, and the kids, they sit there, they pick their nose and eat it, and it's just a thing they do. What's unnatural is the taboo we put on this thing.
Maybe.
Stop in any traffic jam, and most blokes will be doing it if you look out the window.
Also, I think we're forgetting about the actual pleasure of nose picking.
Stop.
So I was thinking that the last time I used a phone box with a coin, and there's that thing when, remember the old-fashioned way, you put your coin, because there's a moment of resistance, and then it goes in, and that's enormously satisfying. And it's the reverse process with picking a nose. Is that moment of resistance,
and then it comes
up, and then it comes free. That is just a huge, satisfying physiological thing.
I understand
picking your nose, then would you eat it?
But then stick it in your mouth for a bit of lunch.
Would you eat it?
Well, I'm more of a pick it, lick it, roll it and flick it kind of person. But,
There we go.
but as a child, of course I did.
Leslie says, I've told my 3-year-old if she picks her nose, her finger's going to get stuck up it. Now she totally believes it. Sandra says, walking down the road picking your nose is just vile. Adults or kids, it makes me feel absolutely sick. Yuck, but try stopping your children, though, says Abby. Thank you all very much
Thank you, I
indeed.
think.
There we go. And thank you to the assistant professor in the Department of Biological Engineering in Massachusetts
thank
for
you.
starting that one. Brilliant. Thanks, guys.